Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings today. There are a lot of fears in the hearts of most elders in the Southwest, considering what is currently happening between Bola Ahmed Tinubu's camp and the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo's camp. Don't forget that Yemi Osinbajo was considered to be a son of Tinubu, but right now the two are, standing opposite themselves because of their ambition. Osinbajo is going for presidency. Tinubu is also going for presidency. But an elder statesman, who is the Secretary General of Yoruba Council of Elders, talking about Dr. Kunle Olajide, has opened up about their fears concerning what is currently going on between Tinubu and Osinbajo, and he's praying that it shouldn't be another Operation Wete. Now, the big question is, what is this Operation Wete? You are going to hear what Dr. Kunle Olajide has to say about what actually led to this Operation Wete. Now, Operation Wete, according to him, when he was asked when it all happened, he said that he was actually a student at the University of Ibadan. I was also in Ibadan then. I saw what happened. It's a long time now, but I don't pray we witness such again. It was horrible. And when he was asked, what will you say led to the crisis? He started explaining. He said, those controlling the federal government at that time wanted to force Western region citizens to align with them. That was what led to the wanton killing and destruction of properties in the entire region. There was the late Chief Samuel Ladoke Akintola, and there was the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. There was the Action Group and the Nigerian National Democratic Party. And of course, the Yorubas were pro Awolowo 100%, and they saw Akintola as a traitor who was going to sell them to the Northerners. Yoruba people were suddenly behind the Action Group led by Chief Obafemi Awolowo, and the then federal government wanted to use the federal might to compel victory for their own party, which was in the minority. That was what provoked some people in the western region at that time to begin to set ablaze houses, vehicles, and human beings. They targeted the tiny supporters of this minority group in the region, and that was what basically caused Operation Wete, and the region was thrown into orgy of violence. Wow. And now let's go over to where he was asked about his expectation for 2023, where he started expressing his fear. He opened up on his fears when he was asked, does YCE have any fears or concern about the 2023 general elections and the interests of the Southwest? He said, for instance, Osinbajo and Tinubu have declared their intention to be president, and their supporters have started verbal war over the ambitions of their principal. It is very frightening the way things are going, and nobody anticipated that. The handwriting we are seeing on the wall is not anything to be proud of, and we, the elders, might have to intervene. The elders will have to come in to address the issue. We don't want another situation where the Southwest will be set ablaze because of personal political ambition of anybody. We cannot afford to witness that again. We will have to call them, at least to tell them to moderate their supporters. They have been friends for over 20 years. I don't see any reason why they must suddenly become enemies and start to point guns at each other. They have been together, they have been friends and political allies for over 2 decades. They should not allow politics to turn them to enemies. I don't see anything bad in the two of them pursuing their ambition, but it must be done decently. They must be able to caution their supporters, because sometimes it is the supporters that start this problem. So they must caution their supporters and go about selling their message to the people in a very decent way. Also, the security agency have a work to do. When he was further asked, what does he expect the security agents to do? He said politics should be a game of wit. Politics is supposed to be a game of, it's not supposed to be a game of violence. What a politician need to do is to sell their message to the people and outwit their opponents. You must be intelligent and show your power of articulation, and not by wielding guns and cutlasses. That is primitive. We want everybody to bring their scorecards to the table. Let's see what you have been able to do before, what you want to do, and how you want to do it. It is not to be provocative and resort to issuing incendiary statement. We want to see contestants' program and not the number of guns they have or the hordes of thugs at their command. The law enforcement agency should not allow anybody to plunge the country into anarchy. There should be no sacred cow. I want to sincerely advise our politicians, especially those who have been on the field for a while, to tread softly. Also, the law enforcement agents should do their job. Wow, that was a big one coming from Dr. Kunle Olajide, who is the Secretary General of Yoruba Council of Elders. I mean, these are the kind of words we expect to hear from elders. Fears, there are a lot of fears right now. Even in the southeast, we already have existing fear. We have fears in the southwest, in the northern part of Nigeria. So as at this time, I feel that the duty of every elder is to take out time to counsel these people on what is expected of them, at least for them to have an understanding or to renew their understanding about what politics is all about. Nigerians do not want to wake up and hear that because of politics, they have been, oh God, lives have been lost, they have been mayhem, there have been all kinds of negative activities taking place. We do not want to do that. And I also feel that these people should come to a point where the issue of, candidacy should be a thing of consensus. You understand? Because they belong to the same political party. The issue of rising up and fighting against the other person and trying to prove your superiority and all of that will not save the day. Expectation is very high in respect to these two people. Nigerians have reacted, after Olajide said this. Nigerians have really, really reacted. Someone says, yeah, it is what the Northerners are really waiting for. I pray that Osinbajo and Tinubu will understand that they are the focal point of this political season. If they mess up, it will be a signature on violence. It will be what they want other people to do. Another person here says situations like this must get the interference of monarchs and key stakeholders in the southwest. But personally, if I want to recommend, I think I will go for Osinbajo because Bola Ahmed Tinubu is already stricken in age and may not have the capacity to take Nigeria out of the current situations that they have found themselves. Another person here says this issue does not require so much trouble. At the end of the day, these two politicians will reconcile. It is the youth that will have issues. So for me, I feel the youth should be talked to. Let them understand that politics is not a game of war, but it's a game of using your skill to put aside your opponent. All right, you've heard everything what Nigerians have to say, but I'd like to leave it there. What's your position on the fears of the elders of the Southeast over what is already happening between Tinubu's camp and Osinbajo camp? Let's interact in our comments.